This is a part 2 or to our 2-part recap of July.
So watch the first part if you haven't seen that yet.
Please.
Let's move on to Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
So, Oppenheimer is the story of Robert J. Oppenheimer,
Whoa.
the guy who built the bomb.
The atomic bomb.
Yeah. Wow, I feel like this is
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, but like it talks about his journey of like him getting in, like him starting in learning in physics and learning everything in America, then going to Europe and learning everything, and him meeting with all these different people, and then
it's more like
doing
just
the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, like it's just I feel like it's more like getting his thoughts and not just being like this is factually what happened, even though there are stuff.
Oh, there.
Like throughout the movie, like there's a black and white, which is like an outsider's perspective on everything.
Well, that's
and then
like,
the color is like how he saw stuff.
Yeah, like yeah.
Or the black and white is like factual stuff.
No, black and white is Robert Downey Jr.'s perspective, and
I know color is Oppenheimer's his perspective.
Yeah.
I just wasn't
sure. Because all
sure.
the sequences that are black and white, Robert Downey Jr.'s there, and you see that, like,
except for like the, like not really an interrogation, but like in the little room. Oh no, that's the hard part. Some of the scenes were in color at that part, but it's like the little room where like, it's like all the the government people were like talking with like
that
whoever.
diner and talking about where they're gonna drop the bomb.
No, not there.
But yeah,
like
that
the
dining,
little room. Yeah.
Yeah, and they keep on moving that little centerpiece thing around, and they finally just take it off.
No, not that. That's at like that's at like the fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm talking about where it's like they feel like lawyers, and like they're being like they're like not interrogating but just like talking with Oppenheimer, and like they're just like getting his whole story because like.
Oh well, that's what it is. It's a court thing.
Okay, because I know that they're saying because I think at one point Oppenheimer does bring his lawyer in, and like the lawyer's treating it like it's a case, like being like, hey, I don't have these files of what you're talking about, can I see them, or like, can I see this letter that you're talking about? And they're like, no, you don't have, like, this isn't like illegal, like they were trying to say like this isn't a legal case, even though it kind of is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
okay.
I feel like some of those parts were in black and white, and then other parts were in color.
Yeah.
With like all those scenes.
So.
But anyways.
Yeah. So this movie, like after it shows him learning, and then like learning from all these different people and studying abroad and whatever, and then him studying abroad, being Jean, whatever her name is. You don't. Okay, that was a joke.
Are you talking about
Florence Pugh?
Oh.
Okay.
I only know her as Florence Pugh. I didn't know her name.
Her character's name was Jean.
Oh, okay.
But
that was a good joke.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Where he was.
I sat there and I was like, yeah, he's probably talking about Florence Pugh, but also I have no idea. I don't know what's happening.
When I said study abroad and then studying abroad, you just gave me that look of being like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, well.
I think I was just processing it in my brain. It like went like a second too slow for you. Because then right as it like I sat there and I was like, oh. You were like, yeah, it's Florence Pugh. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah.
Insert laugh track, please.
No.
Don't do it.
But yeah, after he's like studying, he's approached by the government, or he goes to the school and starts his own like little class thing at the school where he talks about physics.
Don't they hire him to do it, or does
He
I
wants
can't remember.
he wants to start his own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he like goes to, I want to say MIT, but I know it's not.
It's a.
It's whatever, it's school, but
I was gonna say like the big law school, even though it's like I don't think it's that one.
it's some big school,
Yeah.
that I can't remember the name of, but
Yeah.
he's there. He's then approached about what happens when a star explodes and how much energy and like whatever, or like what happens when a star dies, and it's like they talk about like physics and whatever.
I love the visuals because like I don't know, like I can't remember if they've said this in the movie or if this is even true at all, but someone was saying like the visuals of them showing like it shows it mostly when he's like laying in bed and he's like not able to sleep, like when he's at school.
Yeah.
But it shows like the sun, like just like flashes of like the heat wave, like the vision, like I can't describe them.
Yeah.
But like all that visual stuff, someone was saying like, oh yeah, he had
weird like spark, like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
someone was saying like, yeah, he had schizophrenia, and this is how they like kind of visualized it, because there was like a line in the movie where it was like, yeah, you like it's like music, you're just visualizing the music of like, I can't remember the line, but it was something about like.
It's like
viewing like the science as like music and like seeing like the music, something like that. I can't remember the exact line, which is bugging me.
Well, no.
But it was like an interesting visual.
The line basically was like, "This is like music. You don't have to know how to read music to understand the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to listen or whatever."
And then doesn't he say like, "Oh yeah, I see the music," like?
No.
Or something. What the heck? I swear there's a line of being like, "Oh yeah, you gotta just see the music" or something. I'm pissed. No, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, you better be. So.
But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. To get off that little tangent, that was not even part of the movie. I love that part where it talks about seeing music.
Big sad.
But
no, I was saying like the visualization of like what could possibly be schizophrenia, but just showing like the sparks and then also the sun with like the whirling sound.
Yeah.
That like it flashes to in like a lot of the parts in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I like that. That's what I was talking about.
But like, okay, let's see where I was at. So he was working at the school. The school, like, he has like one student, and then one student turns into a big group of students.
And guess who the one student was? It was the Spot, baby. We're going back to Spider-Verse.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. The first guy that shows up and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong class." And he's like, "Oh, no, it's just me and you."
Nope.
Yeah, that is him. Jason Schwartzman?
That's not him.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
swear
way.
it was.
Amy, I think you're just on. I think you're swinging at stuff right now, and you're just missing.
No. It's gonna be like Antonio Banderas all over again. Oh, and there's Josh Peck. Give me my man. Where is he?
He's not in the cast, Amy.
I swear it was him, though. What the heck? Because it sounded like him, too.
It ain't him. He's too old to be, like, the actor's too young to be Jason Schwartzman.
What?
Yeah. Not to burst your bubble. Amy's on strike 2 at this point. On strike 3, Amy, you have to leave.
I'm so sad. I sat there and I was like, dude,
It
it's
might
the
be-
spot, and I'm so happy that he's in this movie because now I can have a funny, like another funny headcanon, along with all the other actors just being like, yeah, Tony Stark was part of this, and also Scarecrow, and now there's also the spot that's getting taught by Scarecrow. Wow, so cool. And Josh is also here.
So I'm trying to think of who that could have been.
He had a mustache, so I knew that the mustache threw me off, so
I
that's...
didn't even think he had a mustache.
I'm so mad.
It could be the guy who plays Roderick, because I know he's in this movie. I'm trying to think of where he was at.
I'm gonna be mad if it's him.
I'm trying to think of who that first student is, but that doesn't matter.
I know. I'm so sad.
So
All of my funny headcanons are just going out the door, and I'm so sad.
yeah, your headcanon has been broken. But yeah, Oppenheimer has his class, and like they talk about building a bomb, but they can't really say that they're talking about building the atomic bomb.
I think they're mostly just because the whole thing is like, this is all theory, and we can't really like test all these theories stuff because it's mostly just about stars dying and like.
And how there's
all that
like
kind of
pressure, but as more pressure is letting in more pressure, energy is going out, and like what happens when there's nothing to put pressure on? Is it just an explosion or whatever?
Yeah. So like everything is just more theory when they're doing classes, and then at one point they find out that like someone made a bomb that's like a similar like theory to their like what they've been theorizing about. But I can't remember.
Amy, I think you
I'm
should.
scared.
I think you should just. I'm unsure what. I don't remember exactly how everything went. But
no, because they got the newspaper and they're like, someone did it. Like someone like did this thing.
that was
and
at like the end of the movie.
No, it's at the beginning. Like it's before that they even build the bomb or like talk about building a bomb. Cause like because now I'm not sure if it's like the other
newspaper.
class.
The newspaper thing is talking about the Spain Revolution or like the Spanish Revolution or whatever that is, where it's like
there's so many newspapers in this movie too. But no, it's before that. Like,
what's before that? There's the only thing that's talked about is just him going to class and learning from other
school,
people.
One of the people like runs in and they're like, "Oh, hey, look at this! Like, someone made this thing that we've been theorizing about, or like something happened with like the theories, and it was like either in like Russia or Germany, someone did a thing." And that's when they're like, "Oh, we gotta make a bomb. Like, if they can do it, we can do it, but we gotta do it better." Because it couldn't have been like a bomb either.
No, I don't think that. The only time where you hear about other people making bombs is through Matt Damon. Matt Damon's like, yeah, the enemy is like it's we're suspicious that like Germany or like what do they call them, the Axis power or whatever. Yeah. They're constructing a bomb. Mm-hmm. And
I might be thinking of the part where like it's a race of like Germany and America, like both of them like making a bomb, but then like Oppenheimer and his team, they know that they can't use one chemical because they've been using hydrogen and
they're theorizing using hydrogen or whatever, and
yeah,
but that's like in the middle of the movie. That's like right before the bomb.
Now I'm thinking like, oh, it's probably that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Where
like it's the race and like they're like, oh, Germany's using this, like they're using this component, which isn't gonna work because we know that that's not.
Yeah, now that they know that they're ahead of.
Yeah.
Of Germany. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of.
So
probably.
yeah.
I don't know.
So let's just continue on with the movie. Oppenheimer is approached by the government. The government's just like, hey, we can't tell you what we're doing, but we want to do this thing. And then Oppenheimer's like, I know what you're talking about. I want to do this thing, and I'm the only person that can do this thing. So I am going to take this job, and here's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And they go to New Mexico. They have what's it called? I want to say Los Alamos.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's Los Alamos. Los Alamos.
They make this new city, this new community
Mm-hmm.
called Los Alamos, and they have all their teams, and they have to make sure that everything is big enough. Like they have to actually make a city. It can't be like a research area because nobody will want to come here. Like we want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to hold them back from coming over, like their family like that was like the main thing was making sure those who had families will come.
And they can bring their families with them, so then they're not away from them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they get that all set up. They're talking about theories and whatever, and you meet all these characters who I think are fun. Like
I like is it the Russian guy? Like the really tall guy with like super dark hair. And like at one point he like storms out of there. And
and
like,
he was gonna leave, and then he does. I really liked him. I think he was my favorite character from the movie.
Yeah.
I think his name was Tanner.
I can't remember.
Netter, something.
I don't know.
Fender?
I like all the Fender, dude.
Fender from Robots.
Dude.
But
I love all like the little characters in this movie. Like they all have like fun personalities.
Yeah, I love the character. I love the characters.
Yeah, like, cause I love how it's like, cause with him and then like when I'm jumping ahead quite a bit, but like when they're doing like the test of like the bomb, and it's like him sitting on like a lawn chair with like sunglasses, and he's like putting on like the
sunscreen.
Yeah, and then there's a guy in the car, and just like their conversation of being like, yeah, you need sunglasses. Like, oh, do you want some sunscreen? And he's like, I got the windshield. It's not gonna let the UV rays get me. And he's like, okay. Or him like after putting on the sunscreen, being like, yeah, does this look good? And he's like, yeah, man, looks great. Like just their little conversations. It's like we don't need a whole lot of like interaction with them to know that they have like some sort of chemistry too. But it's science, and that's all that matters. But I'm like, because there's like that I'm thinking specifically, and then like I don't know, just like the interaction with like all like the side characters, and it's like, okay, we don't need to be like, hey buddy, that I've known you for all these years, and like, oh, that one time where we went to this thing, oh, we're such good friends, huh? And just like, it's like, no, you can just have characters be like, hey pal, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to do all the backstory.
Well, like, it's interesting, like I feel like basically what happens in the rest of this movie is the bomb goes off, and then there's just an investigation whether or not Oppenheimer is a communist.
Yeah.
And that's the
I
whole
feel like
movie.
that's the bulk of the movie. It's like,
Yeah.
is he a communist?
Yeah.
When it's just like his whole thing was just like, I'm just helping people. Like I'm not saying I'm a communist.
Yeah.
Like I just sent money to like Spain to like help them. Like that doesn't make me a communist.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't even need to do any more synopsis stuff after that. But
I love the sound design in this movie.
Yeah, the soundtrack is so good too.
Well, I love cause like just thinking back, I can't remember a lot of like this the actual like soundtrack, but like
yeah, I can't tell you what it sounds like, but I just love I've always liked Nolan's choices for
music,
for like who does the music.
Like
it's
like
usually
Tenet was fun.
Yeah, the same guy who did Tenet did this movie, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I love
it's usually
that.
him or Hans Zimmer that does music for his movies.
Yeah. But in this one, I love. I know, like for sure that it's like I can't remember what part, but it has to do with the bomb. But there's like a buzzing like sound effect that's like used for like telling like if something is radioactive or not.
Yeah.
And they use it in the background like for like a sound. And like he like dials it down so like you can barely hear it. And same with when they take the bomb, like after they do the test,
Mm-hmm.
And Oppenheimer's like, hey, I need to go with it. Like, why are you taking my baby away from me? And they're like, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. And like the truck driving away, there's like the chains like banging on like the box, and they keep that sound going on for like a long time, like it's in the back of his head, and that's what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff like that, and I love it.
Like,
it's so interesting.
The stuff that I love about this movie, like, it's interesting to see, like, was the atomic bomb necessary? Was like what would have happened if, like, this movie makes you think of, like, did we need to make an atomic bomb? What if we didn't? What would have happened? And like,
well, it also just goes back to the line of like Germany was already making one. Like, I'd rather have us have the bomb rather than Germany. Like, I should say Nazis, not just Germany in general, but like
Germans.
I'm sorry, but just the whole thing being like, yeah, it's better for us to have this weapon rather than the Nazis having this, because who knows what the Nazis would have done with this kind of power. Like, it's better for us to have it, even though it's still a terrible thing. Because, like, I don't know. Like, this movie also, like, for me, at least, I sit here and I'm like, oh yeah, you understand, like, Oppenheimer's perspective, kind of. Like, and there's been a lot of people that have been complaining about the movie, saying that, like, the movie praises him when it doesn't. It's just showing, like, his anxieties about everything, and just, I don't, like, it doesn't praise him for anything. Like it just shows, like, all the angles and, like, how, like, yeah, this is a terrible thing that happened.
Yeah.
And this is how he's seeing it. Like, you don't see him, like, just, like, going, ooh, look at me, I made this bomb. It's him, like, right after, like, the bomb hits Hiroshima, he, like, goes in for, like,
that,
like the, I was gonna say interview, but, like, he's, like, talking to, like, a crowd of people.
Yeah.
And, like, in that part, like, I love, because there's, like, the people stomping, like, cheering him in, and that sound effect is, like, in, like, the beginning of the movie, like, it's throughout the whole movie, whenever it's, like, his anxieties about, like, what this power is of the bomb.
Yeah.
But I love that scene too, where it's like him talking and like it just shows, I want to say anxieties, or like just the realization of just like, I've killed so many people.
Yeah.
And like, this is like how could I have done this? Like, how could this happen?
Yeah.
And just seeing like the people in the crowd, like, getting like the effects of like the bomb, like their skin kind of
like
not melting, but like
it's supposed to be peeling off, and like
like, and like it's
crazy. Like, the movie that, like, when I was watching this, like, you realized, like, it doesn't show Oppenheimer as this hero. He should not be seen as a hero, but you see him as a human. You see that, like how I feel like he was portrayed is that he is a guy who was interested in physics, and he takes and he just wanted to research and see what was possible, and he wanted to put it and he just got to a point where he's like, theory is, like, I can't go any farther with this theory. Let's see what, like, he wanted to basically figure out what in the heck a supernova was. Like, what happens when a star dies. Yeah. Which is a supernova.
Yeah. And like, now thinking back, because, dude, Einstein's in this movie. Whoa. But, like, I think when you first see, or, like, right before you see Einstein, before he makes his cameo in the movie, but, I can't remember who was saying this, but someone was talking about, like, yeah, like, just how far everything's advanced, like, there's just so much that you can do, and, like, so much understanding that you can do, that, like, the next generation just takes it, and, like, you just don't understand it anymore. And it's interesting seeing, there's Einstein, who's, like the previous generation, and then now it's Oppenheimer, then it's, like, the next people.
Elon Musk.
Whoa!
I'm just kidding. I don't know if Elon Musk would be the next person or whatever.
No.
No.
Nah.
But I don't know. I think this movie didn't portray him as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
It just portrayed him as not a villain, even though he was cheating on his wife.
He did a bunch of terrible things.
Yeah, he was cheating on his wife. He built a bomb.
And he blew up 2 cities in Japan.
Yeah, and I liked our Commissioner Gordon. This is no.
Oh, the president.
Yeah, the
I
Commissioner
did not recognize
Gordon
him.
cameo.
Yeah.
That was. I was so detached from the movie. I'm like, man, he is not the president. He's Commissioner Gordon.
No, because I didn't see that until you said something, and I was like, no, you ruined it.
Yeah.
You ruined the movie for me.
Commissioner Gordon just told Oppenheimer not to be a baby and to get him out of his office.
Dude, that part, I was like, man, I hate the president.
I think it's funny that there's movies that just depict the president as this jerk, and I think it's great. I just think of Kingsman: The Golden Circle or whatever, where the president's like, yeah, let's not get the cure for these people who are smoking pot and just have them die off.
Oh my gosh.
If we have all the druggies die off, then we have no drugs.
Gotti. Yeah, I feel like I liked all the actors in the movie. Like, everyone did good.
Yeah, the actors are great.
Yeah.
I think everybody who...
everyone did really good. Like, I'm so sad, because, like, the only one that, like, I didn't, like, super like, which, like, isn't her, like, it wasn't her, it was just the movie, but, Florence Pugh, my wife, but, like, she's a really good actress, and, like, all the more dramatic stuff that she did was really good in the movie, but there also, like, wasn't that much for her to do.
But I think that's everybody, though. Like, everybody has all these small parts. The only people that get big parts, though, are, like, Oppenheimer,
Tony Stark.
Yeah, Tony Stark. Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those three were the only big ones.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, how I see it is, like, I feel like Florence Pugh got, like, the short end of everything. Like, it's interesting because she was, like, a big part where she was, she's
like the reason what is like, oh yeah, you were with the communists.
Yeah, like, that's what's interesting to me, is, like, she did a lot, like her character did a lot, but, like, her acting as it wasn't a lot. Because, like...
Well, you got distracted by her being naked, so you couldn't really see where her acting went.
Well, that's all that it was. Like, I feel like just in, like, because those two were, like, the main scene. Like, I feel like she only had, like, 4 scenes, and half of them were...
her being naked.
Yeah. And just that whole, like, there was nothing, like, being said, like, of her and, like, those, and, like, all of those scenes were just sex scenes, and that's it.
Yeah, well, he got that, his banger of a line.
He said the line! I know.
That's where the origin of that portion came. It was like, yeah, I was having sex with Florence Pugh.
I was having people being like, yeah, Oppenheimer got the big slopping.
Oh my
God! Like, stop, please.
Okay, and I also that whole the information of knowing that he was having an affair with somebody who was a communist is very important to the story, and how it's important to the character of Oppenheimer that he was having this affair.
I feel like
I thought it was very unnecessary that I've never been a nudity fan. I don't think it's ever been important that there's been nudity. I
sit here because the first scene I sat there and like just thinking back on it, it could have been like more of like a comedic type thing, whereas like because there's them at the party and those two talking, like doing like a casual conversation, and then it cuts to them sleeping together. But then later on, it's more of them just talking, and it's like after they sleep, and it's I sat there at that scene like when they were gonna show Cillian Murphy, I was like, yeah, are we gonna see him naked? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because it's always just the ladies that get the shirtless scenes.
You see, I mean, he's shirtless. You saw
I know.
You saw his nipples too, so.
Okay, but I don't know why it's so like funny to me, but just like the crossed legs of like I'm not showing anything. Like I don't know why that's so funny.
It's doing the Basic Instinct scene where where you're getting ready for Cillian Murphy to move his legs to swap the legs of it, and you see his penis. No.
Just like in Deadpool 2.
Yeah. I forgot about that. But
I just sat there and I was like, dude, these are the equal rights I'm talking about. If you're going to show naked women, show the naked men too. Cowards.
Naked. Come on.
Come on.
Okay. But my point is that like it's unnecessary to have nudity in the movie. I think it was just off-putting for me. Like, I don't know. I think there's something that's like, I don't know. There's a privacy to like everybody's like. There's a sacredness to somebody's like body and whatever.
Yeah.
And like I
don't know. I don't know the situation of like behind the scenes like obviously since we saw it in the movie she doesn't care, so it's like whatever. But
like
I don't know, like I know in other countries, which is interesting because they censored out like those scenes.
They didn't just censor it out; they CG'd a dress on her.
Yeah, they CG'd a dress on her. But it was like the second scene, and like the main part that I read was like, yeah, they censored it out because they were she like pulls out like a.
She pulls out a gun and shoots.
Yeah, no, it was the line. It's the line bar.
They pull out the book and.
Yeah, it was like a, because it's like a Hindu saying, I think.
Don't know.
I can't remember. But like, that's what they were talking about was like, yeah, they got like, or scripture and like read it. But then it's like that was in another scene. But it's also like, I only saw pictures of like the second like sex scene when there's like, they're not talking about the book and like nothing's happening, and that's
not a sex scene, it's just a nude scene.
Yeah, well, yeah, sorry, that's just what I meant. But
if you're talking about the second sex scene, that's where they're in the boardroom, whatever, and you have Emily Blunt just looking over, and it's super awkward.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just
traumatized.
So like my thing is that like. The movie is near perfect. Mm-hmm. I think this movie would be a perfect movie without the nude scenes.
Yeah.
I think I was just off-put by that.
Yeah.
And some people...
Like, it could have been, like, re-edited. Like, because I feel like now knowing it's the second sex scene, but, like, in the boardroom, like that whole thing is just showing, like, Emily Blunt's, like, perspective on it and just how gross that, like, you're seeing, like, how would I word this, but, like, as the viewer, that's how, like that's how she felt, and, like, that's how we feel about it, too.
I'm thinking also the other way, too, like, you could also see it from the perspective of Oppenheimer being like, now like my wife exposed. Knows, he is exposed, he's naked, and not only that, everybody in the boardroom knows what's going on, and including his wife, who knows what's going on.
Even though the whole thing is like she already knew because he told her about all that stuff. But it's still like the
in
feeling
that-
of it.
In that whole sequence, he probably has to get into farther more detail of what's going on.
Yeah, because
And-
he only said like, yeah, I went to go see her, and that's probably all that he told her.
Yeah. But I don't know.
But yeah,
Like I said,
it could have
that's
been
the
done
only
different,
thing.
but
Yeah, I think
it's not, like-
it could be all said in words, and that's Nolan's thing. He knows how to just make stuff happen through dialogue and make it seem interesting.
yeah.
And,
But it's also like who knows if he did have scenes, but it just didn't work out, or it's
yeah,
like now, like right. It's like just like any like fixing a movie type thing, where it's like we have like the I don't know. It's also just like different preferences too, but like also just I don't know, like just saying how we would rather have made that scene when it's like that's like the best that they could come up with, and that's how like that's what the movie was. But yeah, but everyone was really good. Josh Peck was the best part. He pushed the button real good, even though he didn't.
he pushed the button real good. You sent me a video the other day of him pressing the button and it just not working, and then he like stares at the and it like cuts to like the sequence where they're in the treehouse and like the extension cord's unplugged. He's like Megan. It's like, what's up, booby?
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
I told Allie that he's in it, and she's like, I'm not watching it. So funny. Like, of all things,
Yeah.
he's the one that makes you not want to watch.
Yeah.
So funny.
I think we got what. I think I got what I wanted to talk about in this movie.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I don't think I have anything.
I can't think of anything.
So should we move on to our final movie of the month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Haunted Mansion?
Haunted Mansion.
Mansion.
With Eddie Murphy.
Not Eddie Murphy.
Oh, dang it.
Shoot!
It wasn't him.
We watched the wrong movie. Why were they playing it at the theater? What the heck?
So let's talk about Haunted Mansion.
The Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
It's about this mom and son who move into a new house. And guess what? It's haunted. Wow, who'd have thunk?
What kind of house is it, Amy?
A haunted house.
No,
That's
it's
also
a mansion. They move
Sorry.
into a mansion that is haunted.
Zooey mama, that's insane. I would have never known. But yeah, so their house is haunted.
By Morbius.
Yeah. I'm so sad. I was making a bunch of Morbius jokes to Hayden the whole time. I wish you were there for it.
Yeah, I was on the other side of Jeremy.
Yeah, but
So
it's fine.
Because who was there? It was Hayden,
His wife, our cousin Jeremy, and us.
Yeah.
Just
I was
the
next.
5 of us.
I was on one end. Hayden's wife was on the other end, and they just moved in. Our cousin Jeremy. Hayden.
Me. I was in the middle of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like going in first so I can just get the closest to the center as I can. And also, I'm just the leader of the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But anyways, she calls a priest. Priest comes in.
Yeah.
He's like, man, this is kind of funky. Let me get a guy. Because, to no surprise to everyone, he's not really a priest. He's Owen Wilson. That's it. That's all that he is.
Yeah.
We get main character.
Is his name Ben?
Yes. Ben Mathias, played by Lakeith Stanfield.
I don't recognize what else he's from, but
He's in a lot of other movies. He's in Judas and the Black Messiah, Get Out.
No,
He's in the Death Note. He's like in the live action one.
Oh, good. I love that one.
Dude.
I never watched it.
He's in Knives Out.
Who is he in
And
Knives
Straight Outta
Out?
Compton. Knives Out, I feel like he's one of the policemen.
Oh, he is one of the policemen.
Let me see. Yeah, detective, lieutenant, and then it cuts his name off right there. But yeah, he. This man is our main character, by the way. I just skipped him over for a second, but he's a photographer. He like did.
He did like he
He's like
studied
a
like dark
physics.
matter.
Yeah.
He was dark matter.
Whoa!
He studied dark matter. He was
He's a
he was
big
Oppenheimer's successor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had
That's who it is.
Einstein was the dude of his generation. Oppenheimer was his generation.
And Ben is now this generation.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna go with last names, it goes Einstein, Oppenheimer,
Matthias.
Matthias.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made a camera that lets him see ghosts. Whoa.
Yeah.
But he's also big depresso because his wife died.
Yeah.
And he's like, ghosts suck. They're not real.
Because he can't find his wife's ghost.
Idiots. But yeah, he comes over. At first is like, yeah, I'm just gonna get the money, get out of here, pretend that I'm shooting pictures by going like, wow, look, picture, whoa.
Because he ran out of batteries.
Yeah. There's also that too. He didn't have any batteries.
Yeah.
But yeah, then realizes that he is getting haunted. He gets haunted by a little sailor man. Which I love that how his haunting is just like, I want to watch the Discovery Channel when it's playing the ocean catch. Stuff. Yeah, Deadliest Catch. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then after that they get
Harriet played by Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, and she's like
she's a medium.
Yeah, medium. Which like I love how all these people are like first played off as like these people are hacks, like they're here just to steal your money, like.
Well, no, they're
like
well,
that's like the main.
They're played
thing,
as these people who are very competent, and then you find out they're not. And I love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Because
the only one that isn't is Best Boy Danny DeVito.
He's just not competent because of his age. He's not competent. He's competent, but he's not capable.
Yeah, because he's like a researcher. Yeah, like a professor. Mm-hmm. Like just about like all of like paranormal stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, first thing, like, because they're talking to him and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go in for heart surgery next week. And he's like all excited, like, yeah, I'm going to come to this mansion. I'm so excited. And they're like, you're getting heart surgery? You can't come.
You're disrespecting Danny DeVito. He's like, I'm going in for heart surgery.
I was going to, but my throat hurts. I've been talking, surprisingly not that much, but my throat hurts from talking. Hey, I'm getting... Just a Macho Man impression and stuff.
Hey, what you going?
I'm getting heart surgery. This impression sucks.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's our motley crew of people.
Yep.
I think that's all of them, right?
Well, there's Travis, the little boy.
Yeah. Well, there's Mom's son, Owen Wilson, Matthias.
Ben. We're calling him Ben.
Ben.
Harriet.
Harriet and Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the 8 of them. I like counting. Six. How the heck did I get 7 or 8? What the heck?
I don't know, because you got Mom's son.
Oh, it's because I made those 2 different people.
Mom's son. Ben.
Owen
Wilson, Danny DeVito, Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, so it's 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they come to find out Morbius has morbed a lot of people.
He morbed a lot of people, and he needs 1,000. He needs 1,000 souls for him to morb, some more. And right now he's like at 999, so he needs to morb one more person. Who's it gonna be out of these 6 people?
It's who's ever the most depressed.
And a lot of them are.
They all are depressed.
They're all big depressed. So you never know.
Yeah.
Zooey mama.
So like,
And that's the whole movie. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
them
really-
it's them fighting Morbius. This is what Morbius should have been.
Yeah, this is the Morbius sequel we've been asking for.
Dude.
Yeah, this actually takes place after Morbius.
Yeah.
Morbius moves to Louisiana,
Mhm.
and he just takes over a house. Yeah,
Morbs all over the
he morbs all over this mansion.
gross.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie.
Yeah, it was like, to me, I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie, but I don't want to, like, I feel like whenever I say, yeah, the movie's good, to me, I'm like, yeah, my scale of good is like a bit higher than average, and I feel like I say, like, yeah, it's really good to like a lot of things. Well, this one, I'm like, this is like good, but like with my scaling, it's like dialed down to like an okay, but then I feel like that makes it sound like it wasn't that good when it's like, no, it was good, I promise. It was
Scale
good.
of 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I'd probably make it like a 5 or 6. Like, it's just an average movie to me.
Because I would put it at like a 6.5. I didn't think it was, like, I thought it was a fun movie, entertaining movie.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment value is like probably an 8,
Yeah.
but like the movie itself is like a 6.5.
Yeah.
I think 5 is where it gets into like, this movie's okay or lower.
Yeah.
But, Haunted Mansion, I'm going to revisit it again.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, the characters in this movie are so fun. I
They
think
are.
what we've learned about all the movies that we've recapped this month are
Fun
characters.
characters.
Characters are fun.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love Danny DeVito being Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Dano DeVito.
You gotta love Dano DeVito.
Danny DeVito all over the place.
There's a lot of stuff that I like.
I love how he just gets hit by a truck.
And
He immediately
lives.
books it into the house and is like, I'm here, baby, and gets swooped up by a chair and gets thrown into the middle of the road.
And then
It's so funny.
Well, you don't know if he actually gets hit by a butt or by a truck, but he goes.
No, I love the idea that he gets hit by a truck, but then like just like the scene like right after is him at the hospital and like he looks fine. Like it's
Yeah.
just a cartoony look of like getting hit by a car.
He wasn't even like wrapped up in anything. He was just sitting on a bed. I think this is what I think happened. The truck stopped and he did not get hit.
Ain't no way, brother. Ain't no way.
He was not bandaged
A semi
up.
truck would not be able to stop that fast.
They have the best brakes in the world.
No, they don't.
They do.
But it's not gonna make him immediately stop. There's motion that goes into it.
But there's no way that homeboy, either the truck stopped or
he's a ghost this whole time.
or
The
yeah.
Morbius got his wish of morbing someone.
No, Danny DeVito either the truck didn't hit Danny DeVito or it was like in that one movie Hancock. Like when Will Smith gets hit by a train, but nothing happens to him, but the train.
Oh,
gets
but it like goes around him.
Yeah, like it
He's too
breaks
powerful.
on him. Yeah, that's what I think happens. It's one of those two scenarios. The
One or the
truck
other, nothing in
stops.
between.
The truck stops, or the truck gets absolutely destroyed by Danny DeVito.
I'm
and
going with
nothing
number
happens to
2
him.
because ain't no way that truck stopped.
But there ain't no way that Danny DeVito lives.
He's supposed to get heart surgery next week. Ain't no way.
Ugh.
I love Harriet's character too.
Oh, her
Like, I
character-
love how-
Harriet's great. Her character's good.
What part? I can't remember if it was the part where she was supposed to like go into like the spirit realm where it's like astral projection, but it's like the how they word it as like a reverse seance when it's just astral projection.
Oh,
Or if,
where
like,
she
she's
falls
trying to
asleep?
Yeah, and it's her just snoring, and it's so good. I love it.
Yeah,
Like-
that's a very Disney thing, but also
Well, I
with a
love-
hint of Tiffany Haddish comedy.
Yeah, like it's perfect, but also it's like I love how it's like she does what she needs to do, but it's like in her own funny way of doing stuff. Like how everyone's like, she asleep? And she's like, stop talking. I'm trying to focus.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. You're making me lose my focus.
You threw off my groove.
You threw off the Emperor's groove. Sorry. But, yeah, I just love how she's just, like, this goofy character. And then, like, I forgot Jamie Lee Curtis was in this movie, too. So when she popped up, I was like, whoa! Mike Myers took her into the ball!
Yeah,
Dude!
That's what happened at the end of Halloween.
Yeah.
She retires and goes into a ball.
Dude, she got morbed.
Yeah. She got morbed into an orb.
Dude, she got orbed.
I just didn't like that joke. I'm sorry.
What, my joke?
No, mine. I was just like, she got morbed into an orb.
And then I said she got orbed. I love us just sitting here explaining her jokes.
Yeah.
But, I love how she looked more like
Yeah, she looked more like Ursula.
than Ursula.
Yeah.
Which I think it's just the makeup that they did.
I think the flowy hair is what
And the
did it for
flowy hair
me.
too. Yeah.
So
But,
the thing that the hard thing about how to, like, there's probably a lot of Easter eggs from this movie
From the ride?
And
Yeah.
probably even the original movie.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't seen the movie forever.
Like, I've probably only seen it once when I was little, or I just saw parts of it when I was little.
Yeah.
I remember seeing previews for it and being like kind of scared, so I was like really little when I saw it, and I was like, no, this is too spooky for me. I can't watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Some
I
stuff.
don't know.
Owen Wilson. I loved Owen Wilson. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, or I wish I'd focused more on this movie to find out when he says "wow." I don't know if he says it, but
We're just gonna have to go watch it again, I guess.
I guess.
I guess.
Mom wants to go watch it, so we'll have to go watch it with her.
I love the interview with him where someone's like, oh yeah, how do you think Lightning McQueen would react to being in a haunted house? And he's like, you'd just be like, whoa, ka-chow. That's it.
Well, my favorite part of that is that he's like, can you run through how you think Lightning McQueen would be in a haunted mansion? You just see him like ponder and really think about what he wants to get out of this. He's like looking around. He's just like, ka-chow. Yeah, I think that's how it would go. I'm like, Owen Wilson has the confidence, and he felt so smart just saying that.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
I hope he knew what he was doing when he said that. Because it's funny either way.
Or
Like,
he was just like, I don't know how to answer this question without making a pleasing answer. So let's just
like
throw
he's
in
just
his
like, it would just be me
catchphrase.
walking into a mansion. Like, I can't say any funny Cars lines because it's just me talking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting up a voice. It's just me. So I gotta say the classic line, ka-chow.
I could see, so something that threw me off, like in the trailer, you see him wearing the priest outfit, and then later on you see him wearing the beanie and the jacket. I thought, like when I watched the trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, he's faking being a priest. That's everything.
It's funny because I didn't even think.
And then like.
And then it's a big reveal that he's not really a priest too.
I'm like, come on, man. I saw that coming a mile away. Especially when you're sipping from a flask.
I only noticed that after, like, it was the big reveal. But I also sat there just like, he's just not a good priest. That's all.
No, I loved everything that he did. Because I don't know. I just see the funny, like, stereotypical, like, religious character of being like, man, you just gotta have faith, and I have faith in you.
Yeah.
Or like,
Do you
God.
want to be a... Oh my gosh, his little prayer. Yes.
He's like, let me put a blessing in here first. God, why don't you haunt other people? Why do you have to do it to us?
We're such good people.
Do it. Why don't you just haunt bad people?
It's so good. It's given the same vibes of Iron Giant of the oh my God, we thank you
Yeah.
for the food.
And he's just like, get out of here,
Satan.
and the
It's
mom's
the same
just like,
vibe.
well, that was weird.
That was very unusual, Hogarth.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. The only person that I really wasn't into was Ben. Ben was just an okay character.
I feel like his story was too serious.
Yeah.
And, like, he had too many serious moments. Because, like, his whole thing is just, like, about grief.
Mm-hmm.
Grieving his wife. And, like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of parts of just talking about his wife. But my wife.
Yeah.
But, and I think that, like, it didn't super work with everything. Because it's, like, it's one thing if he's, like, the straight man of, like, and, like, in comedy, there's, like, the straight man, which is just, like, just the character that, like, looks at everything and is like, this is, like, the weirdest thing ever.
He's
like,
the normal dude.
Yeah, he's a normal person out of the whole group.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's too many, like, comedy bits where, like, he wasn't enough of a straight man to do it, or, like, he had his own, like, funny bits.
Yeah.
And it just didn't balance out. Like, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, it would have been one thing if, like, if it was, like, the mom and son that were, like, the straight men of, like, the whole group.
Yeah.
But then I feel like the straight man needs to be, like, the main character.
Well,
So it doesn't super work. Because it's one thing if it's, like, okay, these, like, this mom and son are, like, bringing in all these funky characters, and they're all goofy in their own goofy ways. And it's just, like, these people being like, yeah, the ghosts are, like, goofy characters, and now we got these people helping us that are goofy characters. What the heck, man?
So this is what I think could have totally happened.
Mm-hmm.
They could have had, like, a wacky, zany person be the photographer dude.
Mm-hmm.
And...
That could have been Danny DeVito!
Well, no, I think they should have added I think you would have not had enough characters if Danny DeVito was the crazy photographer. I think you should have... Like, the main character of the story should have been... Oh, what's her name? Gabby?
Mom.
Is that the mom's name? I can't remember.
That's either the mom or the wife. Let me check. I have the cast right here. Just kidding. I have the knife set on. Hold on.
It's Gabby. Yeah.
Gabby? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Winona Ryder's in this. I don't know who she is.
She was the lady at the Morbius house. The Morbus house.
The Morbus house.
The
Oh my gosh, is she the one that was like taking him everywhere?
Yeah. Yeah. She's the one that's like, yeah, that's my cane. I do the unspeakable with my cane. I'm like, why?
Ma'am. I'm so sad I didn't recognize her. I feel bad.
Well, she was wearing a lot of outfits and whatever. She didn't have... I don't know why, but I associate Winona Ryder with her hair.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also just, like...
Like, I've never seen Winona Ryder with her hair up.
Yeah, in Beetlejuice.
But, like, her hair sticks out, though. Like her hair is a part of her thing. She was wearing a hat in this movie.
Oh, that's
so her
what you
hair
meant.
was
Okay.
up in a hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just... I thought that was a weird line that she was just like, yep, this is my cane. Don't ask me what I do with it. I'm like, what?
Ma'am? Just imagine, like, it's funny because I sit here and I'm like, oh yeah, it could possibly be something from, like, the ride. But then it's also funny to me to think about, like, what if it's just, like, not a reference to anything? It's just a weird thing for someone to say.
That's
Which
exactly
is so funny to me.
So, yeah.
Because as far as we know, it could just be part of the ride, and it's just really weird.
Yeah, there's probably
but it's
there's
also,
probably
but then it's also like equally as weird if it's just like the writers just put it in for the fun of it for like no reason.
Well, I was talking to one of my friends who had watched the movie, but also
Knew about the ride.
like who had been to Disneyland recently,
Uh huh.
and was just like, and he was just like, yeah, that line was a little weird. I just like that they randomly threw that in. I'm like, yeah, that was super weird. I didn't know if that was like.
It's so good though.
It was just so weird.
But the delivery was so good. Like it's just a weird situation.
Like that whole sequence where they're in that house and they're just like doing a tour, and I'm just like,
It's so funny. Like just them being like, "Is that the real thing?" And she's like, "No, it's a replica." And just everything.
like you just, but like I love that you can feel the uncomfortableness of just being on a tour, being like, I don't care about what this person has to say, really. I just want to look at stuff.
Yeah.
But you have this person being like, I don't want you to ask me questions and whatever.
She's just like, please, I'm here for the money and that's it. I don't
Yeah.
care about anything.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. Gabby's character, I think she could have totally been the main character of the story.
Yeah.
And then she's suffering the loss of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's the one that Morbius is going after to be the last soul, but then come to find out she's also going, like Morbius is also going after her son.
Yeah. But
And
then I
then-
feel like,
I don't know.
I feel like it's hard because I like, even though it's like you could see it from a mile away, but like Ben, like ending up like just being a part of their family. And like, I like how they did more of like his relationship with the son rather than the mom, like him and the mom just crushing on each other and not caring about the kid. And I feel, but it's like if she was the main character, it would be harder to get her to like him because it's more of like, I don't know, because I feel like either way, like, because both of them are mourning about like their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I don't know. I don't know.
So this is what I think should happen.
So I feel
You
like
have to think of a character who I think it'd be very fun to have somebody who has worked well in comedy with Owen Wilson.
Mhm.
So they could be like a sort of like a buddy cop group. Like
I sit here and I'm like, yeah, Jackie Chan, all because of Shanghai Noon. But then I'm like, no.
no, like
Jackie Chan's usually like the straight man out of those
he
two.
is the straight man of the group, but he's just.
He also has his goofy bits though too.
But it's the goofy bits of him being the Asian man of the group.
Well, just like the physical comedy too.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. But anyways,
I think it should have been focused.
oh my gosh, it could have been the guy from Night at the Museum, the Roman guy.
Or it could have been Ben Stiller.
Dude.
Ben Stiller could have been
him as Tom Cruise as another character. And they still credit him as Tom Cruise and not Ben Stiller. Dude, could you imagine?
Yeah, that would be. I don't know. I think somebody wild and zany would be like, sort of that has the same energy as like
Danny
somebody who's
DeVito.
pumped like Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's also hard to find. Like, I feel like you got like a good group of people that I don't know who else to put in that would make it too much.
Yeah.
Because I also just think of just like, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
there was something that I like watching the trailer before this came out. I was given the idea, like I was given the. I just had like when you're watching a trailer, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen in this movie? You gotta like think about what's gonna happen in the storyline. I could have sworn Homeboy was gonna get haunted, like Ben was gonna get like possessed by a spirit of Morbius.
Yeah.
And then he was gonna be somebody you had to like take down and like.
That would have been interesting.
Like I thought that's what they were doing. I'm like, yeah, that would have been
even though
wild.
that is like kind of happened when
Yeah,
like he was
but,
the one
like,
that
for-
astral projected and like then like one of the
the
guys.
hatchet dude.
Yeah, and he went in him, but then like was immediately taken out
Yeah.
because of the bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
the smoke thing.
Oh, the sage.
Yeah, the sage from Costco.
That's so good too.
I love the sage from Costco and the like the little bits that I also liked. I liked it the first time that he does the fake clink. I thought was stupid, but like the first few times, I'm like, okay, this is
like
funny.
he kept doing it. Yeah.
When he just kept on going with it, I'm like, okay, this is funny now.
Yeah.
Or like the vanilla scented candle.
Yeah, and she's like,
Sorry, I forgot to renew. I forgot to get that off of my subscription on Amazon.
Yeah. I just love the mundaneness, like,
Yeah.
because it's like all this like paranormal stuff where like I feel like people just visualize it as like you need to use all these ancient things and like you need all these specific things.
Yeah.
And like it needs to be like old and like stuff hard to get when it's like
Nope.
I just got this sage from like Costco and I used that. Like that's all that you need.
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, this is a vanilla scented candle from like this subscription that I forgot to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I love all the random little bits in this movie. Like there's like the best scene of the movie is where like I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of
I love the running gag of like the action man.
Oh yeah, where he has a shoe and he's like
yeah, he hits him with it.
Which okay, the funny parts of that he like where Ben's being funny is pretty good. Like where
yeah, I
they're
love his
where
comedy because
his
it's
comedy's funny and like, but if I don't know, like I'm so like confused about his comedy because like if he did his same exact comedy bits throughout the movie, like if he had the same comedic pace that he had, because he's funny with the kid, and he was funny when he was like doing the clink thing, and he was funny when he was doing the sketch drawing.
Yeah.
But like other than that, he was the serious guy. But if he had more of that dry humor, I don't know if it would have come off annoying. I'm like, this guy isn't funny, or because it was so limited on his humor, I'm like, okay, this guy's actually funny. He's growing on me.
Yeah. And I feel like the hard part too with him is like, because I feel like it was hard like balancing out like him showing his grief, and also just the other bits. Because I like the scenes where it's him talking about his grief and like the flashbacks. I wasn't here for the part, but just the tater tots thing. But like just other things where it's like flashbacks.
Oh yeah,
of him.
I forgot that you missed out on the part
Yeah.
finding out when she died, when the wife died.
Did she choke on a tater tot?
No. Okay, so this is what happens.
Could you imagine?
So this is what happens. She's like,
I walked out at the worst part possible.
I know.
That's been this month too, just walking out at the worst part or just staying the whole time.
Yeah. So they're like talking about like, oh, so this is what happened to my wife.
My wife.
So he's like, yeah, she was a really big snacker. She was one of those people that said, hey, let's go for a run, and then partway through the run she's grabbing like food at like hot dog stands or like food vendors.
Same.
And he's like, yeah, what he was okay. Like,
was he like emotional talking about this too?
He was emotional talking about this. He's like, yeah, she wanted to go to the store to get some tater tots. She was really feeling it. And then on the way back, she wanted to get some ice cream too. And on the way over there, she got hit by a truck. And like,
oh my gosh!
I know, it was so bad. But like, I don't know why, because he was like getting all choked up about it. And I'm like, I'm getting choked up thinking about our older brother Jake and him dying. And I'm like, oh, like it's
emotional, but then it's also like, no, she just wanted some tater tots. She got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm supposed to be sad, but also now I'm laughing, and now I don't know how to feel.
I know. It was like so weird. Like
Yeah. But
so
I
there's,
like
so many-
the scenes though. Like, but it's weird how they're like balancing them.
Mhm.
Or like just going from like, yeah, I'm talking about my wife and being emotional, and then
Mhm.
immediately cut to like
Tater tots.
I do like the payoff though.
Yeah, where you see the cat.
Yeah. Does the cat show up again, like in the middle of the movie? Because there's
So-
like the beginning where Owen Wilson first shows up and he's like, "Oh, I thought this was your cat because it was just hanging out like by your front door, wanting to come in."
Yeah.
And then at the end, when like it's the cat at his front door and he's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" and looks at the name, and it's
Well-
Tater Tot.
Well, like the other part is when his house is getting flooded by the sea dude.
Did I miss that part? No, I didn't.
Where
Because I did like the comedy bit of this part, like when he's like in the middle of the road and the car stops and he like gets up and it honks at him. Because in the trailer, it made it seem like that part was gonna be like a dumb a jump scare type thing. But like in the while watching the movie, it's like, oh yeah, he would jump because this scary thing happened to him. But it's also funny because of just his reaction.
Well, nobody else sees it.
Yeah, it's like just him, and it's like, yeah, just all that. But
Mhm.
anyways, does the cat pop up right there too?
Yeah, the cat's like at the door and like water's coming in and Tater Tot's just sitting
Yeah, okay.
there.
But now that also makes me sad because it's like someone else owns that cat and named it Tater Tot, and he can't adopt the cat.
No, it's
It's
the
someone
ghost of
else's.
it's the ghost of the tater tot that she was eating.
Dude.
It was the ghost of the potato.
He didn't
because
pass
potatoes
on.
live, and so the ghost of the potato went into the cat,
Mm-hmm.
and now the cat wants revenge because it's like you
Tatered your last tot.
Oh my gosh.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
I also like all the serious stuff too in the movie is good too. Like when because he talks to like all the characters about like his grief and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved his conversation with Harriet.
Harriet
like,
was good. I like that one.
Dude, I
didn't
almost
cry.
cried.
I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I promise.
I promise.
I promise I didn't
But,
cry.
like, because the whole thing is talking about like because he asks her if because it's after like she talks to one of the spirits. She talks to
Yeah.
someone, and it's right after that, and he's like, "Hey, are you able to talk to my wife?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "No, I can't," because she passed on completely, and like explains like the Venn diagram is like the two circles too, right? Okay.
Yeah, because there's like the real world and
The living
afterlife,
world and the afterlife.
and then there's that little in between, which is that haunted house.
Yeah, and the in between is like people that like
I haven't accepted.
that haven't
they're
accepted
not,
death, and also just me sitting here knowing about ghost stuff, just being like, yeah, the spirit hasn't passed on because like their truth hasn't been told of like how they died or like what happened to them and like all that fun stuff. But like, but just her talking about like, yeah, like, you know, like it's a good thing that she's not here because she's she's in like a better place and she's not like stuck here being like haunting people.
Yeah.
And, like you don't like we can talk to her and that's good. Like like it's not a terrible thing that you can't see each other again. Like just know that she's like in a good place now.
I can't remember if the word was acceptance or if the I can't remember what the wording was.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're dead, you have to be accepting of your death and whatever.
Or just accepting of like that your life has come to an end. Cause like I watch too many paranormal stuff, but like a lot of them is like with Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah. But like the whole thing was like the dead people didn't know that they died, and their only way of passing on is accepting that they have died and that their life has come to an end. So I don't know if that's that kind of situation or what.
Yeah.
Because it's also I feel like all the spirits like at the haunted mansion, they're people that died from Morbius.
They got morbed.
They got morbed. That's why they're still here.
Yeah.
That middle section is called morbed. Ooh. Well, like, yeah, all those serious parts are like really good.
Yeah.
And then all the funny parts are good too. It's just weird meshing them together.
So the thing that I'm upset about most in this movie, if this movie would have been a perfect Disney adventure movie, if Danny DeVito didn't have the Morbius voice when he was possessed. If he was possessed and had
and just Danny DeVito like, trying to do
he's like, I need my hat from you.
Dude,
you are never gonna make out of this alive.
It would have been like, and him just cackling at everything would have been so good.
And just having him for a little bit longer, like instead of him like just Morbius immediately letting him go and just being like, I am me now. Wow, look at me. This isn't Jared Leto at all, or even the Morbius character. I forgot his name.
The Hatbox Ghost.
Why the heck is he called the Hatbox Ghost?
Because the box, his head is in a hat box.
But then it's not.
His actual head. It's his ghost head that you see.
But
it's his physical body. Ghost head. His head is in the box.
I was sitting here wondering.
Because he got decapitated.
Yeah, well, so when Ben's doing I'm just gonna call it astral projection. I'm also in his boat of saying calling it a reverse seance is stupid.
It is stupid.
Yeah, because it's just astral projection. But while he's doing that, it shows Morbius, and it's just the headless guy, but his head is in a box. But then after that, whenever they show him, he just has a head.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's
weird. That's why I was like, yeah, why is he called the Hatbox or the
Hatbox Ghost?
Yeah. So it's what the heck?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very.
It might, who knows, it probably could have also been oh yeah, it was too scary not having a head there, and having it just being a floating hat just there. I can get that being scary to little kids. But also I look at all the other ghosts and I'm like, how scary is this for little kids? Because I don't know. I've been far too traumatized. I don't know what's scary anymore for little kids.
So you know what I love is the part where Owen Wilson is distracting on the ghost, and he's having his moment of being you guys are not that scary, and he's like, wait, you need to turn around.
You're scary. Turn around right now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Final thing, and then I think I'm sort of done talking. I think I've said everything I wanted to say about this movie.
Yeah.
The most satisfying moment of this movie is at the end, where the heist of the century happens. You thought the heist of the century of the month that was displayed in the month was Mission Impossible. Oh no. The heist of the century was the sea ghost stealing the boat and driving off in the sunset.
I love it so much.
It made me so happy. I'm like, this is what I wanted to see. Okay, he was one of those funny side characters that just stuck around a little too long. I mean, not a little too long, but stuck around longer than I thought he was going to be, and he was great. He was one of those helpful ghosts where you never saw what he actually looked like.
Yeah.
And you never saw what his ghost looked like. You just saw the water footprints.
The most that you saw was just him wearing the old old timey like sailors
Yeah.
outfit, where it's like
The
just
rain,
like the rain hat and like the coat,
yellow
and that's
yellow
it.
rain stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's it. You don't like see his face or anything. Like probably the most is like maybe a beard, and that's
Yeah,
it.
well, you see the painting of him,
Oh,
and then you
I
see
wasn't
like
really paying
you see
attention.
like the reflection of what he actually looks like in the water. Is that where you see the yellow suit?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of the parts where it shows them like sitting down in the car, and then the rear view mirror shows the
Oh
ghost.
yeah.
And there was like the three
I
that
forgot
were
about
with
that.
him.
I forgot about that.
I kind of wish that we had more of like those ghosts, like that kind of stuff with the ghosts, because I know that like I feel like everyone got their own individual ghost,
Mm-hmm.
and like just Ben had like the sailor that was with him.
What did Harriet have? I can't remember. Oh, it was a horse.
Yeah, she had the horse.
Yeah. She's like, do you want to know what it's like to have a horse running around in your house? There is no horror like that.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's
Like I
good.
sit here and I'm like, oh, I wish we delved more into like their haunts,
Mm-hmm.
or like.
Or
So I
you
feel
just,
like Ben got like too many, like where it was like, because like there was when he went upstairs and there was like the wife that like killed her husband by like decapitating him, even though it's
Mhm.
not Morbius that she killed, it was like a different guy.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause there
one of
was
the
her-
possessions, I think Hatbox Man possessed the dude to kill his wife or whatever, like other way around.
Yeah, I don't know. I would need to watch it again to get the lore of the ghosts.
Yeah.
But
This makes me excited. Like, this movie makes me excited to see what kind of fun little PG-13, like, horror stuff. Like, I could see Disney making a pretty decent Scooby-Doo kind of thing. Like, if they gave this kind of energy to a Scooby-Doo, I think
or
it'd be very
hopefully
fun.
it'll egg on like Warner Bros. To do like a fun Scooby-Doo thing.
Yeah, or, yeah.
And even like with Barbie, it makes me hope that we'll see more like goofy, cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, gotta make everything super realistic, we gotta do this, this, and this. When it's like, it's fine making it look plastic because it's funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, there was a part that I was thinking about but the scene in a Haunted Mansion when, they're when they're like having breakfast. And just like all the eggs just flying around, and like
Yeah.
I love like just the frustration of just like, please, I'm trying to cook.
Like,
I'm
come on.
just trying to make stuff and everyone's just ruining it.
And I love that Harriet at the end of it was like, crunchy eggs? I remember my mom making crunchy eggs
Yeah.
for breakfast. And I'm like, nope, those are eggshells, baby.
Ma'am. But I love all her little comments in the background too.
I think Tiffany Haddish is one of the funniest women.
Mhm.
Like, when
I
she's
love her
doing,
comedy.
she's hilarious. I loved her in, was she the one in Nicolas Cage movie?
Yes, she was like, oh man, I loved you in Croods
It's like,
too.
have you seen Croods? He's like, I'm a grown man. I do not watch Croods. I've
so
seen
good.
Face Off. I've seen all that. Yeah. But
It's so good.
And she's like, man, Nicolas Cage, is that you? I loved you in Croods. Oh, my son would be so
My
happy.
nephew
Oh,
would
his
be so
nephew.
happy.
Yeah, my nephew would be so happy. Can I get a picture or like whatever?
I love her so much.
I loved her in the Kevin Hart workout thing that he was doing, like the exercise
on
YouTube series
Yeah.
he did.
They did a movie called Night School. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
They were funny in that one.
I've never watched that, but I can imagine it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like Tiffany Haddish is great.
Yeah.
What was the sport that they did? Did they do rollerblading?
I don't know. I haven't seen that stuff in forever.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
doesn't he now do interviews in like ice baths?
yeah, with
people?
yeah.
With the athletes.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
that's good. That's
Mhm.
good. But
But yeah, those are the movies. I told myself after watching Haunted Mansion I was gonna like get my list of like all the movies and be prepared and just
yeah,
like have a full list.
I need to
'Cause I already
update
know
that
what-
list.
I know what my number one is.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have top 3 maybe, like just Barbie, Spider-Verse, and Oppenheimer maybe my top 3. I don't know. I'll have it for you later, guys. Don't worry.
We got 6 more months of this.
Yeah.
7 more? No, 6 or it's 5 or 6 months that we have.
Yeah. A
But
couple months.
yeah,
Still got a few movies. I just need to do it before the end of the year.
but yeah.
But yeah, out of these movies, how are you ranking them?
From these 4, ooh. I think bottom is Mission Impossible. Like, these are all great movies. I love all these movies.
Yeah, I feel like in all these ones,
I don't think there was a bad movie this month.
yeah, I feel like most of these are going to be like in the top 5 or like the top half of like the of the ranking so far.
I think for me, this is how I'll do it. I'll do. This is hard. I think from best to worst, Oppenheimer. I think it goes Oppenheimer. Dang.
I know. Well, it's also interesting that we have 2 like more dramatic movies and then 2 comedies too.
Yeah, I think
Like they're all also different because it's like scary movie and comedy and then just pure comedy, then drama and then action.
so. I think from the first watch, I think it goes Oppenheimer, Barbie. Yeah, I think it goes Oppenheimer, Barbie, Haunted Mansion, Mission Impossible. Rewatchability, I think it would then go Oppenheimer, Haunted Mansion, Barbie, Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, because that would probably be obviously Barbie, Oppenheimer, Haunted Mansion, Haunted Mansion, and then Mission Impossible. But yeah, just like what we said before, like that doesn't mean that Mission Impossible is the worst movie.
Yeah.
Like they're all really good. Go see them. Oppenheimer might actually both Oppenheimer and Mission Impossible might be harder because they're long movies.
Yeah.
I think especially Oppenheimer because it's also just very serious, dialogue driven throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. Like, to me, I totally understand why you'd want to wait for it to be at home to watch it. But I also sit here like, oh, I don't have that good audio. I want the audio, please.
The movie theater, like watching a movie in the movie theater than watching it at home is a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. So we'll catch you in the next episode. We'll catch you next time. We're doing a game, I think. We're gonna do a game. So yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Join us for game night next week. Thank you. Bye.
Well, thanks for listening to this episode. If you liked this, you should go check out our other stuff. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a review. Check out our other videos on YouTube where we have bonus content outside of a podcast. And if you like that, please like, comment, and subscribe to also help our channel grow. Recommend us to your friends so they can also enjoy the dynamic duo of a lifetime.
And check us out on TikTok and Instagram at AJS_podcast. And check out my art stuff on Instagram at Babby_Yami. And we'll see you in the next one.
See ya!